The just concluded 2022 Nigerian Fintech Week, organized by the Fintech Association of Nigeria in collaboration with partners and associates, provided an opportunity for stakeholders to explore the theme, Navigating the Next Normal, Sustainable Impact in Fintech, E-Government and Emerging Technologies. Mr. Ade Bajamo, President of the Fintech Association of Nigeria, and Dr. Shego Aino-Efar, Chairman Board of Trustees, Fintech Association of Nigeria, in their opening session remarks highlighted the impact of the industry in the country and prospects for maximum impact at the continental and global level.
The Nigerian fintech industry has been a trailblazer in this digitally transforming world. Coming from its infancy barely 10 years ago, it now leads Africa on several fronts, ranging from funding, scope and depth of innovation to providing leadership in payments and driving regulatory alignment to create an environment for growth, jobs, and prosperity. The fintech ecosystem has also witnessed significant growth in the last 5 years, from foreign direct investments, which was barely at $53 million a year, growing to nearly $1.3 billion in 2021. There's been a slight decline in 2022. The latest figures as of Q2 was about 731 million, but we hope that by the end of the year, we will at least meet or beat the 2021 numbers. Our job as an ecosystem facilitator is to proceed at any length to ensure we achieve the full potential and continuous and exponential growth.
The Fintech Association of Nigeria will continue to be the umbrella and the voice of fintech development, just as they have been doing since 2017. It has received a lot of support from the industry, it has received a lot of support from the government and the regulators. All the efforts you have been doing individually in your various organizations, and we hope and believe that these efforts will continue. We thank everyone that has been contributing to this, particularly organizations that have been sponsoring this event and contributing to the development and growth of fintech. And we believe that Nigeria fintech ecosystem will continue to lead Africa. And we are hoping that sometimes in the near future, the Nigeria fintech ecosystem will be competing with the best in the world. So thank you very much, everyone.
Mr. Babalola Oladokun, Regional Manager, Sub-Saharan Africa SAS, and Mr. Shegu Oluyemi, Head Financial Institutions, Nigeria Interbank Settlement Systems, provided insights on enabling the new era of financial services, safeguard, control, optimize, and sustaining fintech growth and building a legacy.
We need to ensure that infrastructure optimization is equally put as a top burner. It's not just enough for us to say we have infrastructure. I build my own in silos, this one builds its own in silos, and so on. If there is no convergence, there is no way the desired impact of fintech inclusion and inclusion. Because I believe strongly that even while talking about financial inclusion, we should equally be talking about fintech inclusion in our processes. Fintech inclusion in our processes, because you cannot do anything that will make you meet the needs of the market as fast as desirable if we don't build that bridge of trust between the licensed institutions and these fintech companies.
Artificial intelligence analytics is no longer a nice to have. It's got to be the game changer. It's got to be what you use to differentiate yourself. This is what we have been doing, and when you do it, you will be able to meet all your KPIs as an executive. Like I've said before, reduce costs, increase revenue, and serve new set of customers. Digital transformation has got its positives, it's got its negatives, but when you leverage artificial intelligence, machine learning, and analytics, you will come out safe. you will be safe, you will be free to do your core businesses while you are generating new revenue.
It also featured fireside chats on fostering sustainable impact in fintech, e-government, and emerging technologies, a masterclass on environment, social governance, and risk management for the fintech ecosystem, conversations on charting the new tech parts, and product pitches. The Day 2 session was lightened up with an incisive presentation from Mayo Akuyero, partner McKinsey on Fintech in Africa, the end of the beginning. Presentation on Navigating the Next Normal by Dr. Austin Nwalune, who represented the Executive Vice Chairman, Nigerian Communications Commission, a conversation on Web3, decentralized finance, what Africa must do to thrive in a metaverse area, keynotes on charting the new tech parts and the global investment landscape, trends in public and private markets, and sessions on sustainable cloud architecture for Africa.
There were a number of reasons we thought that fintechs were coming to the end of the S-curve in Africa. The first thing that I would say is that when you look at the size of revenues of fintechs in Africa and see how they've penetrated the financial services system, across Africa, we're about 3 to 5%. Nigeria specifically is around 3% of total financial services revenues. And those numbers are actually very similar today to what you would see in more developed markets such as the US, the UK, and so on and so forth. So from a revenue perspective, we're actually, almost on par or at par with more developed markets. The second reason that we said, look, we're at the end of the beginning was that when you looked at, the maturity cycle and the activities where fintechs across Africa and again in Nigeria are participating in, we've sort of built a lot of the fundamental rails that help to drive fintech activity. And now we're seeing more and more fintechs come into more and more complicated financial services. So that's another point to note. The third point to note is, I'm sure everybody is aware of all the news and all the press that you've been seeing about startups and fintechs. And we see sort of 3 or 4 big issues and big challenges that fintechs will have to face. Again, very similar to what you would experience in other sort of more developed markets. These challenges include the challenge of scale. How do you make sure that you are building businesses that have both the number of customers, but also the revenue growth to warrant some of the investments going in there? The second thing is navigating an uncertain regulatory framework. A lot of our fintechs today in Africa are operating in one market, but a lot of people also have ambitions to go across markets. However, one of the things that you would hear is that regulation in Nigeria is very different from regulation in South Africa, it's very different from regulation in Ghana, even within the same common market area. So navigating that has been one of the big challenges we've had to face. Thirdly, and I think it's very important, in fact, even today there was news in the press about this, which is building very robust corporate governance and robust sort of systems around the ideas that we're generating. And then finally, and I think this one is a big one for fintechs, for incumbents, for anybody operating in this market, which is a talent question. The big talent question is a problem that we all collectively have to address if we're going to build sustainable businesses on the continent.
The role of the NCC can be summarized as providing enabling environment for the deployment of digital infrastructure, development of human capacity to innovate and create digital businesses and services, and develop digital skills of Nigerians to be able to use the digital services provided by the innovators and entrepreneurs. Collaboration between the NCC and other stakeholders is very vital. NCC has continuously shown willingness to work with the regulators and stakeholders to promote the development of fintech sector. We remain open to collaborative engagements in light of the launching of the 5G network and services it will produce for the fintech ecosystem.
Interesting keynote sessions on emerging payments landscape and opportunities, sustainable impact in fintech, e-government and emerging technologies, learning from APEC the role and opportunities for fintech and regtech in a post-COVID environment and building a sustainable fintech ecosystem, cybersecurity imperatives marked by the Day 3 session. There were also conversations on Fintech Industry Forum, a dissection of challenges in the Nigerian fintech ecosystem, eNaira, the enabler of the new phase of the financial inclusion drive, and a sustainable pipeline of competitive and global talent. Stakeholders converged on the final and closing day of the event to discuss blockchain technology and its compelling case for economic transformation from blockchain and the next normal. Impacts of blockchain in the economy of Nigeria, women in blockchain, time with Africa youth, in focus on a Africa and Web3 conversation. The 2022 FinTech Week was inclusive with provisions for sign language interpretation during presentations, lively exhibition booths engaging, product pitches, networking, and a dynamic compare. Key stakeholders speak on the 2022 Nigerian FinTech Week and the experience.
I'm particularly impressed because this happens to be an opportunity for stakeholders to meet, discuss critical issues in the industry, particularly in Nigeria, West Africa, and Africa at large. We found a place where all of us converge to, develop ideas, share ideas, and I'm particularly impressed with the organization. And I want to also thank them for the platform, for providing the platform for all of us to meet and make decisions for the ecosystem.
Thank you, Nigerian FinTech Week. It's been fantastic. It's come a long way. It's going even further. It's become a staple in everybody's mindset and in everybody's diaries. Every year, we come here, we speak, we see what's going on, and we don't get lost in the world, because we also need to interact to say, where are we vis-a-vis, where are they in the world? And FinTech Week provides that opportunity. So thank you very much for the organizers for this.
They are doing an excellent job. They're encouraging startups, and they're also encouraging those who are stakeholders. So I think the week has been beautiful. A lot of ideas have been changed. A lot of people have come to know more. And I believe that this will bring in a lot of innovation in the ecosystem.
We're excited that it all went well. The attendance has been fantastic. People have learned a lot, both those on site and those online. And I think that the interesting moments for me, and I would say the most interesting moment, was seeing this 10-year-old girl. I think she's come 2 or 3 times now with her mother, and she's busy taking notes. And so she would like to be a developer, and we've decided to give her an award. But so it's that for me, it's encouraging that there is a future. That it's not just the Gen Z, just not the millennials and the Gen Zs. There's a new generation coming who is excited. So it's about 10 years she's that excited, and not just watching, but really taking notes. That's what drew my attention to her. So I think that that's what encouraged me, that people are coming, and they're not just coming to watch, they're coming to learn and to be able to apply what they're learning.
It was another remarkable week of conversations, presentations, and networking. And the expectations are that the fintech industry in Nigeria will be positioned for more significant investments, explore new innovations in areas like agri-tech, insurtech, receive continued policy and regulatory support and invest in skills and talents to remain a vibrant and globally competitive industry, contributing to national growth and development.